This is a tutorial about how to make a feather, as I have on this hat here. What we'll need is a piece of foam or a needle felting brush, some scrap felt if you've made some, or you can use manufactured felt, but this stuff's better. And we'll need some wool. Now, it's better if you use the color of felt that's going to be your main color for your feather. It just blends better. You're not going to see this, but it's just a good idea just in case you have some thin spots. So first thing I'm going to do is cut out a strip, depending on how big you want your feather to be. It can be a fairly long strip or a short strip. I would say this is a medium to long feather. We're just going to take the roving and pull off, not a thick piece. That's perfect. Can you see that? It's nice and wispy because we're going to build up some layers, and you're going to set it, what is this, perpendicular to our piece of felt. And then as clear and straight as you can, felt a line straight up and go back, keeping to that line as much as you can, because we want this to be as small as possible. Okay, and as you can see, maybe you can't because it's all the same color, but there's some wisps right here. We're going to want to leave those for blending later. You're going to want to do one side at a time. So let's move our felt down. Let's add our next color. Again, I'm just pulling off just a little wisp. Perpendicular. And it's okay if they overlap. As a matter of fact, we want them to overlap. Staying in the same line as below as much as you can. Go up this new color and back down as many times as you feel you need to get the roving to attach quite securely to the felt. But again, you want to make it very small because at the end you're not going to like yourself if you weren't careful. Wisp. Perpendicular. Parallel would be like this, I think, so if I have my math terms right. Never was a good math student. I hear people who are good at art are not good at math, so I have an excuse. And for all of you out there who are good at math and art, kudos. Kudos to you. I am not one of you. Okay. You can see our wisps. We want to keep those. Now I'm using 2 different colors of brown. It'll give me a very natural looking feather, but we are going to add an accent color. We're going to blend it in after we make our first row. It's really pretty straightforward once you know the technique. It's all about covering up this center hole poking, because that won't look pretty at the end. Now the first layer is pretty thin. When we come back through and do the second layer, you get to see how it builds up a little bit. If you want a thin feather, be my guest and leave it thin and wispy. If you want a very full and rich feather, build up 3 layers. I usually only do 2. Okay, when you get about to this place where you have just like less than even 1/4 of the entire length left, you're going to want to start attaching the wisps a little differently. Instead of being perpendicular, you're sort of going to start angling them. Pick a center, pick a point. See how my finger's here? And the wisps are going to go like that. So this guy will be wisping to the side. You still want to keep your line though, as much as you can. This will get covered by the next wisp. And this guy, since he's the middle guy, we're just gonna very carefully get him in there. And you needle felters will be so much better at this than I will be. As a matter of fact, I expect you to improve upon this and post your improvement ideas so that I can get better and our other fellow wet felters who are needle felting impaired, inept, can get better at it too. Alright, so I'm about to round the corner here and start on the other side. And we just do that the same way. This one's going to be to the side a little bit. And I have a handy dandy tool that I need to get. You can actually, it's not meant for this, but I use it for this. Comb the felt, or the roving, so that you get a good blending. And now this side is a little bit different. You're going to still do perpendicular, and you want to leave a bit of overhang, and you felt, oh gosh, listen to me, you needle felt in a straight line, small as you can make it. And this is where our wisps come in. You sort of fold them over the line you just made. That's where my tool comes in handy. And it very much hides it. and you don't have to see that big ugly line anymore. Really cool. So that's what you'll do all the way down. I'll do another one just so you can see one more example. It's kind of a peely piece. Let's get a little bit of, there we go. Alright. We put that on. Should we have enough overhang? And I mean, you don't need one of these tools to do this, and I'm sure you needle fuzzers have one, but you can use your needle. Just slip it underneath the back and smooth it out. So once we get down to the bottom, we'll add our accent color. So you get the idea. Let me start on this side again. Making our wisps a little thicker. And maybe we can make the bottom ones a little bit longer. Now, I've learned that you don't want your accent color to be too predominant, and you really want it to blend with your other colors. It just looks more natural that way, I suppose. Because I tried the yellow and gray feather, I think 3 times before I got the accent color ratio to gray ratio correct. I was using way too much yellow, too much of the big, huge chunks of yellow. It's better if you just let it sort of be there, but be very, almost not there. It's an accent color, it's not a main color. Right. That's way too big. And I like this because you can have them overlap. And they sort of poke through each other. Really, just take your time and use your artistic sensibilities to lay out the wool in a pleasing manner. And just remember the tricks I taught you about doing it in as straight a line as possible. And we're going down the finishing side to go a little bit over and then fold it. And there you have it. Play with it. And you know, you can add another layer, or you can make it as many layers as you want, thick, and you can make these ridiculously long and these ridiculously short, or however you want to do it. You got the basic idea here though. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. And if you have any questions or if anything was unclear, please don't hesitate to leave me a post. And thank you and happy felting.